Welcome to the NerdNest podcast. I'm Sarah Montgomery, NerdNest social media manager. You know me. And you know my brothers.
I'm Josh.
And Daniel.
Related. So the links are in...
Still not convinced, but whatever.
You're not good.
It's an issue for another day, so.
Okay.
Anyways. So in the description, as always, the links to our blog, our social media, and so forth. Go ahead and give us a follow if you so choose. That would be really appreciated. This week, we're going to be talking about the Killing Joke comic. So spoilers for that, but that's been out for a while. And they're making an animated movie about it.
It's going to be great, I'm assuming.
Hopefully. I mean, it's Bruce
hard
Timm.
not to.
It's
yeah.
Bruce Timm and it's The Killing Joke.
And it's Mark Hamill and Kevin
So
Conroy.
The Killing Joke is a famous comic. And it's also awesome because it's the comic where Joker kidnaps
Barbara.
Jim. He kidnaps Jim, shoots Barbara Gordon in the spine, paralyzing her. And in the old universe, she becomes Oracle. In the New 52 universe, she recovers from this incident and becomes Batgirl again. But he kidnaps Jim Gordon and terrorizes him at
He
Carnival.
tries to make him go insane, basically.
And it's also the origin of the Joker. So, the Joker's origin was basically like unknown, which is
It's basically
To
the
be
closest we
fair-
have to him.
To be fair, the Joker's origin is still not, like, that's
Yeah,
not
it's-
the definite, because even in the comic he says, I don't always remember what my, like, how I
He just
became
kind
the
of
way I
makes it up
was.
as
He
he
goes,
goes.
it's like, I like to leave it as a multiple choice. I like to, it's like,
Yeah.
some days I remember one way, some days I remember another. That storyline, the what happened to the Killing Joke in that storyline, or how he became the Joker in the Killing Joke, that is how he chose to remember it that day.
time, exactly. But I think that what I love about this comic is it goes into why Batman and the Joker are such perfect opposites. Because in the DC universe, you have pairs of opposites that aren't very like obvious, and they don't seem like they would make sense originally, but they actually make a lot of sense. Like Wonder Woman and her biggest enemy is like Cheetah Woman. It's like that's not necessarily the most sensible. Or Flash and Gorilla Grodd, or
Professor Zoom, one of the two.
right. So we have a lot of, but you know, like super speedster versus smart gorilla. Man that dresses like Bat versus crazy clown. It doesn't feel like it should make sense, but it really does. And the reason I feel like it does is because this comic really goes into the fact that when you boil them down, both characters are the result of one bad day. So Bruce had one bad day where his parents were killed, and in that alley walked Bruce Wayne, but out of that alley walked Batman. And he decided the world is unfair, the world is unjust. I'm going to bring justice back to this unjust world. The Joker, who had a horrible day where his family was killed in a car accident, and then he got kicked into a vat of chemicals by Batman.
I think it was actually in that comic. I just read it. She was actually electrocuted by a baby milk warmer.
Uh-oh.
Well, it sucks. But the point is, like, his family dies because of an accident, and then he becomes the Joker basically because Batman's chasing him. He's trying to get away, so he jumps into a vat of chemicals, and he just like crawls out. He's like unmasked, and he has the white face and the red lips and the green hair. And from that event, it could drive him insane. But from that event, it's one bad day, and he decides everything in the world is just random circumstance. Nothing is really happening for a reason, so what matters? Nothing matters in the world. And so he just starts killing people and terrorizing everything. And that's why I really, really like this comic. But a lot of people criticize the comic because they say that Barbara Gordon is used just as oh, poor Batman, his sidekick is in pain. Just...
I think it was mostly for Gordon's sake.
Yeah.
I think that's really what it was for more than anything. Because, I mean, yeah, Batman had to deal with it, but Gordon had a much bigger problem. I mean, it was like, when Joker killed Barbara Gordon, shot Barbara Gordon, it was a test more for Gordon because he didn't know Barbara had anything in common with Bruce Wayne or Batman. So...
This reminded me of something.
but, so I mean, that's just the case, and So that's the whole goal, is to test Jim Gordon, not to test Batman. I mean, Batman was certainly tested in it, and it really does show how strong Barbara is. She's just not, like, they don't make her out to be like just some girl who can't handle herself. I mean,
yeah, in the New 52 she returns to being Batgirl even after that absolutely atrocious incident.
And before New 52, it was still,
she's still a hero even though she's disabled.
She was Oracle. She was like, you know what? She had a damn bad day too. No one pointed that out. You know what she did with it? She didn't go insane. She became the Oracle.
She didn't go insane. She didn't go insane. She's a strong, independent woman, and she don't need no bat.
When you mentioned you saying Joker didn't know that Barbara was Batgirl or worked with Batman, that reminded me of something that happened in Arkham Knight where
I got that part. That was a good part.
There's a flashback into the Killing Joke of when Joker paralyzed Barbara Gordon, and when you're leaving the Bat Cave, more or less. When you're leaving, Joker's talking to you, and he's saying, like, I mean, I just kind of got lucky. I didn't know she was working with you. Seriously, I was aiming for her head. I'm like, that's hilarious. It was really funny. I just love that moment.
To be fair, Joker doesn't actually, like, use guns all that
No, I
much.
just love that line. Like, seriously, I was trying to kill her, and just, like, completely missed point blank.
Oh my god!
Open door.
How do I manage? And then he's just like, oh, that works.
That's a Joker.
I guess.
Shout out to that video game.
There's a headcanon I saw on Tumblr that I thought was pretty interesting, and that it was that Jim Gordon kept trying to convince Robin to date Batgirl so that he would stop flirting with his daughter. He's like, you should really date Batgirl. I think you guys would get along nicely. Because he's like, I don't want him to date Barbara. I just thought that was funny. Just there's a lot of humor that can come with secret identities.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk about, a couple of things of Killing Joke. I want to talk about the ending of Killing Joke, and I also wanted to talk about Joker's goal in this. So Joker's goal in this is, I think, what really inspired The Dark Knight was that the Joker's goal is to point out to the world at large, but mostly to Batman, that good people can go crazy. So his whole goal is, like, Jim Gordon is, like, the best cop in Gotham. Like, he's uncorruptible time and time again. You can't pay him off, you can't bribe him, he's untouchable. He's the golden boy of the Gotham Police Department. And his point is to show, like, even someone as good and wholehearted as Jim Gordon can go absolutely insane. And I'm going to show you that. And I think that's where Heath Ledger's Joker, I'm speculating, but I think that's a lot of that comes through in Heath Ledger's
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of...
I don't know how I missed that.
There's a lot of relations there. I mean, they kind of go a different route of saying it's not just crazy, it's just saying any person can
it's more broad.
Go evil.
Yeah,
and he proved that with Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
So I think it works. I think there's definitely... They may have taken something from it.
I mean, and that's just, I think it speaks to the Joker's character, and that's probably, like, that it's not just that comic, and that's Heath Ledger pulling from that. But it really does show, like, in both cases, but mostly in the Dark Knight movies, the Joker is trying to say, like, Batman is not good.
That's
he
really
can kill
Joker's overall goal, is he doesn't care who he kills.
Yeah.
He doesn't find any amusement out of it. His only goal is to prove that Batman isn't as strong, isn't as great as everyone thinks he is. His only goal is to really get Batman to kill him.
Right.
That's, like, he doesn't even really want to try
the
to
question
kill
becomes,
Batman.
he
just progressively does more and more horrible things. I mean, he's already crazy, don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
He does things because he's crazy. But his ultimate goal is to get Batman to kill him.
Well, so in the comic, it's been like the Han shot first conversation of the DC universe is, did Batman kill the Joker at the end of Killing Joke?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
What about you, don't?
Yeah,
You
I'll
think
say,
he did?
yeah, just for sake of arguing, yeah, I think he did.
Alright, well, Grant Morrison
Yeah, that's
came
why,
on,
that's my main reason.
and Grant Morrison, he said, like, no one got it.
Grant
No
Morrison was obviously the writer of the book.
He was the writer of Killing Joke. He said no one got the ending. Batman kills the Joker. He strangles him at the end. Because the Joker tells a joke about two insane people that escape, and one of them crosses the thing, and he's like, go across, I'll hold it for you. He's like, what do you think I am, crazy? You're going to cut it when I'm on the other side.
He was like, I'll shine a flashlight across, walk across the beam with a flashlight. He's like, what? No, are you think I'm crazy? You're gonna turn it off halfway when I'm halfway across. So, you're obviously crazy because you're escaping from a mental asylum. 2, you're crazy for thinking you can walk across a flashlight beam. And 3, you're obviously just crazy.
You're just a crazy
It's
person.
just you're crazy. I
So
mean, I don't know how to describe that.
So he tells that joke, and then Joker starts his Joker laugh, and then Batman starts joining in.
Starts his Batman laugh, yeah.
His Batman laugh, and then like there's the sound of police. There's police sirens in the distance, and then the Joker stops laughing, and you see, and it just kind of zooms in on the
puddle.
on the water, and it's an unidentified puddle. Like it's raining. Is it rain? Is it blood?
It's raining.
And the Joker, but the Joker stops laughing. Was he strangled?
Yeah, but
Batman
like the
reach out
laughing
and
was
touch
like
his
ha
shoulder?
ha ha ha, and then it like fades out to like hee hee, and then it stops.
And then it looks at this puddle, which could be blood, and you see Batman with his hand either on his shoulder, like ha ha ha, I'm laughing with you,
Or like
I'm actually strangling you right now. And that's what I like, is the obscurity of the ending.
I mean,
I
the title of
to
the book
me-
is literally
to
named
me-
Killing Joke. Joker told the killing joke that killed him.
Or his joke was
Kill.
the
killing.
joke. The.
But I mean, I don't see how. Like, first off, Joker comes back in New 52.
Right, and that's
I think
the
those are
thing.
completely separate. though.
Which again, they're separate universes, and Flashpoint caused a lot of things.
What
to
I'm saying
change.
is the original purpose of it was to say Batman killed
Yeah,
Joker.
I think originally it does, but I don't think that sticks
2,
with it
out of all the
canonically.
shit Joker pulled,
Good job.
out of all the stuff that Joker pulled, that is what caused Batman to kill the Joker.
Right, that's
come
what I
on.
did.
That's
Until I
not,
read-
Josh. I don't think you understand it. It's obviously it's not like, hey, so I mean obviously he did a lot of stuff. He crippled Barbara Gordon.
Yeah.
So that is a
but
big deal. But he's kind of. I mean, in the beginning of it, he says there is no end to this.
But
But
he
the
went
point-
into it though going, oh, I'm gonna bring it in right. I'm gonna do this proper.
Yeah, that's what Jim says.
And then
Jim
it's-
says to like take him in right, do this by the books,
But
show them that
Batman
there can
also
be
says
order.
he's gonna do that, and then
I
it's just like
agree.
he says a joke. He's like, you know what? Screw it. That was a terrible joke. I'm gonna choke you to death.
My point is, until I read Grant Morrison's comment, I didn't think Batman killed Joker at the end of that. I thought it was a great comment. I'm like, of course Batman didn't kill Joker.
Maybe I need to read the comment.
No, I mean like I
The
said,
comment.
It was
the
like
comment
a-
is just Grant Morrison saying he kills him.
He was on a podcast as well.
Yeah, he was on a podcast talking. Podcastception. He was on a podcast talking about it. It's like, yeah, Batman kills the Joker in that. That's what happens. But, you know,
You mean you
I
can't
have-
really argue with the right when the writer says it?
I disagree. I am a firm believer in believing that just because someone puts a creative work out there does not mean we have to interpret it that way. So
I
just
get
because
it.
if an artist paints a beautiful painting and then he looks at it and says, this is about depression, that's not necessarily right. That's just how the artist wants you to feel. Now, if it comes across and I don't see that,
It's a very successful artist then. That's their goal as an artist, is to convey a feeling or a meaning.
well, the point is, Grant Morrison wrote a great comic,
He
and
did.
the ending, he could have shown Batman choking the Joker, but instead he showed two outlines where the Joker and the Batman are laughing, and Batman is touching the Joker in some way, and then point is, it leaves you, it's questionable. The way it's written and the way that it's shown in the comic can be questionable. So that's my point, is that if he wanted it to be obvious, he could have made it obvious.
Welcome to the NerdNest podcast, where we just
Stop.
Well, sir, I think
don't conclude anything properly.
I think-
there's no winning there.
Sir, I think the whole point of it is that, I mean, yeah, you can argue that with like a painting, but I think with comic books there's like a storyline. I mean, maybe,
Well, yes,
and no one
that's
wants to
valid.
see Batman just being like whoa, you know, that's just kind of
I agree.
that destroys what everyone sees as Batman.
you
So
know,
they
but-
want to make it like, yeah,
Fine.
it happened,
But
but
you
you don't
have
get to
to-
see it. So your
you
image
have
of
to
Batman
agree.
stays.
There's a reason
Nice
that
and
there's...
pretty.
Okay, you have to agree there's a reason there's a controversy about the ending of The Killing Joke.
Obviously,
And
I'm
it's not because
I'm
some
not
people
saying
are
that.
just like in
When I
denial
finished
about
reading it-
Batman killing the
When I
Joker.
finished reading it too, I was just like, so
What just happened?
what? I mean, I thought that was blood. I thought immediately that's obviously blood.
But did you think, oh, that's blood, obviously he killed him, or did you think, that's blood? Did Batman just kill the Joker?
First
that
off,
doesn't make
That's
sense.
what I
If
thought.
you just
Exactly.
choke someone to
Batman just killed
death,
the Joker.
they're not going to be like bleeding.
Coming from his experience choking people to death.
You could have stabbed him. He has batarangs. They're sharp.
That's a valid
He could have
But
choked him and
it-
stabbed him,
these-
something like that.
Or just slit his
Alright.
throat.
At least
Fine,
gruesome way.
whatever.
That's let's not get into the details like
I
that.
think we're running out of time regardless.
You've ran out of time.
Yeah. All right.
10 out of 10 comic.
Abs-
There's a
abs-
movie about it.
It was on the
Soon.
the
Read it, decide for yourself.
It was on the New York Times bestseller list. It's one of the few comics you'd up there, or Watchmen.
There's a lot of comics on the next.
Yeah, but they're it's absolutely phenomenal. Buy 20 copies and give it to everyone you love.
Frank Miller, Grant Morrison, great writers.
Absolutely fantastic.
Know how to write comic books.
Batman, great.
Know how to write Batman. So.
Well, thank you guys for indulging us to talk about Batman. We'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Daniel, say bye. Don't be rude.
See you, Josh.
Bye, Daniel.
Wow.